G'day, hobbyists, and welcome back to the Hobby Podcast, the number one podcast that nobody ever asked for. As always, we're going to cover everything from TCGs to pop culture, everything else in between. I'm joined by my right-hand man, the Colonel. How are you, brother?
What's happening, Dino? What's happening, hobbyists? Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on the channel. We're on our quest for 1,000 members at the moment. So
1,000 followers, dude. You say members every time.
Members,
Subscribers. That's what we need. This on YouTube, it's subscribers. Have you noticed that I stopped reading the script for the intros, and I'm just like going off the cuff now? I'll just change it up a little bit every time.
I'm impressed, man. They say podcasting is a 3 to 5 year journey. It's taken you 28 episodes, and now we just go, we're off the cuff now. So
yeah, we just throw away the script.
We haven't had anyone say, hey, the intro is a little bit different this time. Like, you know, what are you doing there? So
yeah, even if you do, I'm not going to go back to reading it off the script. All right, this is way more fun.
That's very true. We're into ProQuest season at the moment. I am absolutely balls deep in Flesh and Blood. I've got 6 tournaments over the next 3 weeks.
That is not something you should say.
Isn't it? I think it's fine.
Balls deep in Flesh and Blood.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fine.
That's a no from me.
But I'm going to have a top 8 finish in
the next 5 weeks.
In the next 5 weeks.
One top 8 finish.
I'm going to have one top 8 finish. Top spot from every tournament gets a spot in Singapore, which I'm not going to get one of those.
Top spot.
Yeah, the winner will get a spot in Singapore.
There you go, Singapore. You heard it here first. He's not coming.
I won't be there. No, there's heaps of side events and stuff, but maybe next year we look at that. So
yeah. Very
but
nice.
I'm my gold mate deck's going to do me well. I'm going to get some wins together. So
you know what I'd like to quickly talk about, right? Because I know this isn't in the agenda. But I've heard about it, and I'm not involved in Flesh and Blood. But the new set coming out has gold packs in it again, like what they did in Part the Mistveil. Mm-hmm. But this time there's cards in there from James White, the creator's personal collection. Is that real?
Yep. And he signed them as well.
That is insane. No wonder this set of all sets is it's gone. I got one box, which I'm not going to open, but I like. You've turned me into I'm now in the position where I'm like, I need at least one box, not every box, but the last couple of sets. I got Part the Mistveil, Rosetta, the Hunted, and then I'll get this High Seas or whatever it's called. Because they seem to be the sets. This is almost like the turning point for Fab. It's had a really good steady incline, and I feel like in this current market or whatever it is that they're doing, that game is definitely booming. And I've had people come into the shop and see it and ask and go, I've heard about that lately. What can you tell me about it? I'm like, nothing. Wait till Lee joins.
Yeah, man, I haven't met a single person that's come from the TCG space that hasn't enjoyed Fab. The mechanics of the game, the people, you've heard me spoke about all the time.
Yeah.
Now that collectability, it's going to be really interesting to see what the market opens up, because the Flesh and Blood community are renowned for enjoying play a lot more than collecting.
Yeah.
So there might be cards that are accessible and maybe not for, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. You might be able to get your hands on one for a few grand, which is really cool. So
yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting, especially because Fab stick to their print runs. They haven't increased a print run as far as I'm concerned. As far as I know, I think that's based off. I think I saw Rudy talking about it, and they just refuse. They're like, no, this is still the right amount of product that we need for our worldwide audience.
Yeah.
It's not creating artificial scarcity. It's just not hitting the gas before you need to. You know what I mean? Yep. So it's probably why it's sparking, and maybe soon they'll have to, think about increasing some print runs. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. Through the forum.
Do you know what the print runs are?
Nah, I've got no idea. But I know in the Flesh and Blood forums and chats, people are like, stock's it's just getting that little bit harder every set to get your hands on, because as the game grows and demand also, grows, especially in North America. It has the second biggest prize pool of any TCG, One Piece number one, then Flesh and Blood. Yeah. You're looking at One Piece and
That's crazy that Pokemon, the all-powerful Pokemon, doesn't sit at the top of that.
Yeah, it's 4 times the amount the Pokemon put into every year.
What the hell, man? You guys should be doing $1 million tournaments, Pokemon. You're a multi-billion-dollar company. Yeah. Throw $500,000 at the winner of Worlds every year. Come on.
Yeah, biggest IP in the world by 10 times.
I mean, it's hard enough for players to get cards at the moment, though, too, man. The playability side of Pokemon right now is even popping off. I get customers coming in, just going through bulk boxes looking for playable cards. almost as regularly as we get collectors coming in now. It's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Yeah, well, it's, we talk about the scarcity of product and getting your hands on a collect. It's the same for them as well. And if there's an item card that's a common 1 cent card but is super playable in their deck, like you'll go that extra mile to find those cards,
Yeah, for sure. Well, we got a little bit of news today, and then a set review, which is going to be fun. Something a little different, something we haven't done before. But as always, we'll throw to the news to kick it off.
Love it, mate. Let's start with some golden auctions. So we talk a hell of a lot on this show about greatness. And greatness is often reflected within one season of Caitlin Clark and Victor Wembanyama.
Yes.
But there's a new girl in town, right? It's Paige Bueckers. She's the number 1 draft pick. She literally got drafted about a week ago. And I've got a 1 of 1 here. It was a PSA 10. It sold for $31,787. It's her
US. So about 50 grand.
50 gram. It's a super refractor. And she's now gone to the Dallas Wings. The best way I can explain the way she plays is she's pretty much Josh Giddey. She's like a female version of Josh Giddey with a little bit better 3. So I went through, watched all the NCAA highlights because I was like, I don't watch college basketball, like men or women, but I was like, I want to kind of see how she plays. Yeah. Mate, she's got eyes on the back of her head. She sees every pass. Like when she's open, she hits the shot. She averaged 19, 4 and 4. So she can score the basketball. Cool thing is too, is the last time a number 1 draft pick had a 22% chance in the lottery was in the men's was LeBron James to Cleveland. So Dallas Wings only had a 22% chance to have the number 1 draft pick, and they got that. So if that's a little bit of like foreshadowing as to how good she could be, that's
pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool that it's just popping off. Like the WNBA as a whole is just like popping off.
Yeah. It's what you see in the like AFLW here, right? Like a lot of people like would knock those sports when they first came on. But when you're 10, 15 years down the track and there's all these like programs in place for, young women to play and there's like somewhere to kind of achieve to, like the skill level's just going to rise with it.
That's it. I think that's a good call out by you, to be fair, is, skill levels is not a genetic thing. It's a time thing. Like anything in life in terms of skill, education, playing a TCG or playing a sport, right? Doesn't matter if you're a male or a female, the more time you get to put into something is always going to lift and raise the bar of a skill level. That's a good call out by you.
Yeah, there's like it's like a mental thing too, right? In terms of like, it's an athletics reference, but they talk about like the 5-minute mile or whatever it was and how no one in history had ever done it. And then someone did it. And it was like, oh, it's actually possible. And then like 40 people did it within 3 months, or breaking 10 seconds in the 100 meters. It was like, there's no way we can run 100 meters in 10 seconds. And then someone did it. And now they're all like 9.7, 9.7. So it's like, when's that next?
It's like, who's breaking the 9 seconds?
Yeah, who's breaking the 9 seconds or the 9.5?
What's that runner we've got in Australia right now? Gout.
Yeah.
Gout. Go Gout.
He's a freak, man.
Yeah, he's good.
He's a freak. We'll get behind him, something shocking. But yeah, it's cool to see because we're going to have 2 players. Caitlin Clark obviously can shoot the ball. Paige Bueckers can shoot the ball. And that's what you need. Like you're going to need these types of players to bring in audiences. So that's a huge sale there.
Oh, the next one is you've set yourself up for this. Look at the next one.
Yeah. I do put a bit of thought into these. So,
yeah.
So why would you have one when you could maybe have both?
Yeah.
In a PSA 10, it's a autograph patches. So it's from the March Madness dual auto, $7,300. Now the card doesn't look as good as the 1 of 1 Paige Bueckers.
One of ones are a different echelon though. You're talking about the only copy of that card.
Yeah.
So they always sell for 6 figures, no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, or what is it? 5 figures. Sorry. Most of the time it's 6 figures. You know what I mean? But like, that's crazy. That's still a sick card. Like you said, we're talking about probably the two players that are going to really, and we'd already said Caitlin Clark was going to be the one to sort of launch the WNBA to its next like tier. But having somebody to compete against on her level in Paige Like, this is the kind of card you want.
Yeah,
so
100%.
I reckon that exact card would get sold in the future for double or triple that amount. For sure.
100%. Well, it's numbered 17 to 25, so there is still like
A couple others. It's a 10 though, right? It's PSA 10.
It's PSA 10, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but both of them on there, that's if you had some spare change lying around, you wouldn't not buy that card. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
All right, this next one here, $366.
I was just looking at that and I was looking at the names and I'm like, is that a typo?
No, it's just a card from a set. There's no rarity attached to it.
Right.
But the card itself just looks unreal. It's a PSA 8. You've got the Cristiano Ronaldo, Leo Messi from the World Cup matchups. Mate, it's like our two goats of this era on the one card. It looks awesome.
It's just a base card, basically.
Just a base card.
So it's still like what? Almost $700.
Yeah.
Australian.
But I mean, look at the card. Like it's actually gorgeous. Like, oh, we said this last time. Gorgeous on the podcast is not okay.
Yeah, you gotta drop that one, brother.
My love for cards, I've just got to like tone it down a little bit. So
it's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
There's this next one here is right up your alley. We're right in the middle of Formula One season. Our boy Oscar.
Shout out to OP sitting on top of the World Championship standings right now. Aussie, I can't wait to drink a beer with you when you're back in Melbourne, brother.
He is
just acting like we're homies. We'll get OP on this podcast if he collects stuff. Maybe he does. I think he collects Lego, so we'll try.
We'll get him on at some stage. It's a Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. So both Mercedes drivers. 10,000
McLaren drivers. You absolutely
McLaren. Oh,
pencil.
McLaren. Formula One's new for me. All right.
Yeah, it's okay. That's why I jumped in.
I know there's like 25 races from the year, and Oscar Piastri, like, you know,
just stop.
Read the card. Read the card.
McLaren. They're from McLaren.
To 2024 dual autograph booklets. This is a one of one.
Yeah, huge.
10,370. This is from 2024.
Yeah, last year.
So I wonder what this year's looks like if they win. Like
that card anyway though, they won the Constructors' Championship last year. So realistically, in my opinion, I would have thought it would have gone for more than that, because what's that? There's probably about 17,000 Australian for that. I would have thought it'd probably get a little bit more, but you know, the interesting thing is that's not graded, and when you grade the booklets, they're not as very appealing as well. I think if that was an individual card as opposed to a booklet card, it might have more desire. But if either Lando or Aussie actually win the World Championship this year and they win the Constructors, then all those cards just go up again.
Yeah.
Go up another level.
100%.
Because I honestly think it'll be Oscar or Lando. I think Max obviously still from Red Bull still has a really good chance, but McLaren will definitely win the Constructors again this year. And I think based on the way the McLaren cars are driving right now, it really is between Lando and Oscar and whether or not Max can run them off the track.
Yeah.
You dog Max.
Well, but in the 5 races, the 2 of them have been top 2 already 3 times.
Yeah. The cars are on, man.
Yeah.
Zach Brown wasn't lying a couple of years ago when he said, like, give me 2-3 years, man. I'll get this thing going. That was a good accent, but a bad impression of Zach. He doesn't sound like that.
But it was a great reference. So I love that comeback there. The last one I've got for you here, Dino, $860 USD. It's a Marilyn Monroe original photo from one of her photo shoots at Century Fox.
It's PSA graded as well.
It's PSA authenticated.
Right.
So PSA authenticated that it's a legitimate photo. Obviously, like an icon in the 50s and 60s, like people.
Mate, she's still an icon now, brother.
Like when you think of like some.
Have you watched that movie though?
I haven't seen the movie. No.
Like Ana de Armas, if I think to say her name, the chick that plays her, like kills it, and it's great, but it's very strange.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty intense.
Well, like
it's one of those movies you got to watch once,
and then
that's probably enough.
You don't pick it back up again.
Yeah, it's not like watching Frozen every day.
Frozen every day. You mean like watching Lord of the Rings once a year?
I never even watched. We talked about this because you were cranking Lord of the Rings on your Whatnot stream the other night. Follow us, Luna_cards, Whatnot. Yeah, you were cranking Lord of the Rings, and I said I've only watched the first movie and then about half of Two Towers.
Yeah. You need to be a bit better than that, mate.
It's just not my jam, bro.
You're going to be on a hobby podcast like Lord of the Rings. You saw the following, man. You jumped in and you were like, what's this stuff? Put me to sleep. And the comments were just like, love this, love this, love this. What a vibe,
I did say by the end of it, I was like, that was a good call by you.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was good.
You like Harry Potter. You watch the Harry Potter series every year. Like Lord of the Rings.
Harry Potter's good. It's fun.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings is up there too. But I thought that was like super cool. Nice sale there. But like that sold for 500 USD more than the Messi and Ronaldo card. So,
yeah, it's Marilyn though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I guess, yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
She's an icon. That's all I've got for you on the Golden auctions today, Dino. Was there any other news that you kind of had for me? Because I know we really want to dive into this new set.
Well, I guess special mentions, by the time this episode comes out, Metazoo would have just dropped here in Australia. So that's exciting to sort of get that out here, see what the reception is like. The reception's already been, well received because we had a few boxes that we've already discussed and we've opened up. But yeah, it'll be cool to sort of get it into other people's hands instead of them just watching me open it on whatnot. Be like, here you go, here's your boxes, have a crack. There's been quite a few people that have come into store and asked about it and have bought them. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Excited for that. Excited to sort of see where we can take that game. The playability looks cool. Me and Luca are still itching to get some decks in so we can play it. But I think Lorcana has Return of Jafar or Reign of Jafar set about to drop, which is meant to shake the water there. One Piece is just doing One Piece things. Ever since I stopped playing it competitively, it's just fallen off my radar.
Right.
And that happens though. I said that to you when you wanted to start playing a TCG. I was like, well, if you're gonna play it, like, you got to be in it. It becomes sort of all consuming, and you can tell that. Like, by the way you talk about Flesh and Blood now. So now that I'm not playing One Piece, it's sort of, it's just comes and goes. But there's nothing too crazy there in terms of things that are going on that I'm aware of. It's all, the whole world right now is Pokemon. Special shout out, though, to Magic the Gathering because their Secret Lair dropped these Deadpool cards, and I got some of those, and they were sick.
Yeah, they look awesome. We spoke about them on the last...
Here's one here. Look at that.
We spoke about them on the last episode, and then a day later they were in hand. The way that the timing kind of worked out on them. So they look awesome. Final Fantasy is going bonkers.
It is, but it's still a while away. It's still like June or July. It's just like probably the most hyped up set of the year. So yeah, Magic doing Magic things. I mean, they release a set like every 7 or 8 weeks. Like, it's insane. It's just one after the other, after the other, after the other. I don't know how the player base can keep up, to be fair. But let's talk about what we came in to do.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the greatest Pokemon set post 2008 of all time. Actually, I stand corrected. Because Call of Legends, in my opinion, is the greatest Pokemon set ever. That was in 2010-11.
Post 2012.
Post 2012. Let's just do in the last
10 years.
15 years.
We get away with
that goes back to 2010.
Yeah.
The greatest Pokemon set, clip this, all right, fellas and ladies and gents and colonels. This will be the greatest Pokemon set. Better than 151, better than Evolving Skies, better than Prismatic Evolutions in the last 15 years. You can't change my mind.
There has been so many people that have sat there and are so disappointed. They're vocally voicing their disappointment of what they wanted to come out of this set. We've got Gloria Team Rocket, which has just dropped in the Japanese. We know in English it takes 2 to tango. So we've got Heatwave Arena and Gloria Team Rocket that form destined rivals. We want to take a bit of time to go through the set and tell you why it's so awesome.
And before we do, something happened to me this week that shows exactly why I'm right and you're wrong. Because Scarlet and Violet Base came out. Nobody wanted it. The Drowsy Art Rare in there, right? We've talked about this card before. I must have priced some of these up while Gabe was away on honeymoon, and I did. And I put them in the case underneath the display case. And we found them this week because I forgot that I put them there. The Drowsy has peaked at $120 because it's now popular and everybody loves it now that it's been out for however long. Guess what price tag I'd had on that Drowsy that was sitting in the bottom of the cabinet?
$46.
$12. $12. was what that card was worth when that set came out, because it wasn't what everybody wanted or what they thought. But then the nostalgia hits, time goes by, you get to appreciate things more. The hype comes in, the hype goes out. All those things happen, and that card had 100x'd off $12 to 120 over a period of like 3 months. So, you know, just because you want something and you want Pokemon to print something and they doesn't dictate the value of that set, right? This is the first Team Rocket set we have had since 2008. The first, and it'll probably be the last for like another 15 years, right? They're not going to flog this dead horse. That's evident. And I think when you look at the glory of Team Rocket on its own, okay, fair enough. If you then add in Heatwave Arena, you literally have good versus bad without light or dark Pokemon. Just the artwork tells you that story on its own. Destined Rivals is going to be bonkers. Long-term, realistic bonkers. It's going to be the best set of Scarlet and Violet. Sorry, 151 lovers. I mean, I like 151, but Destined Rivals is going to be better. Prismatic Evolutions is trash. I don't even like that set anymore, man. I saw a friend of a friend buy 200 packs of Prismatic Evolutions and pulled one Master Ball and like 2 trainers. That was it.
Yeah. The prismatic pull rates, unfortunately, have ruined the set.
You cannot have a holiday set with 32 secret or special illustration rares. Can't be done. Like, it's learn from that Pokemon. That didn't work. You know, like even with a God pack in there, right? Like to get all the evolutions, like that's what I mean. I just that's why it's just another reason why I think Destined Rivals long term is going to be the Scarlet and Violet set to have and hold. It'll be massive.
Couldn't agree more. We opened about 50 packs of Prismatic the other night, and we pulled 2 Master Balls and 1 art card. A Lycanroc art card. That was it. No, it wasn't even a Lycanroc. It was, I can't even remember what it was.
Lycanroc's from Journey Together.
It was Journey Together, yeah. But it was absolutely junk. But what we're going to do is we're going to go through some of the cards because I want to remind people, we're going to go through Heatwave Arena first. We want to remind people why this set is the greatest set of the last 15 years because people are quick to say, oh, there's no blasting off again Team Rocket card. Like, where's that? I want that. Where's Jesse and James? Well, I tell you what you are going to get. You're going to get the Yanma Art Rare, which is a nice looking card, not the most popular Pokemon. But if you look at the card purely on its artwork, it's a nice card. Cynthia's Roserade, that's a really nice card there. Cynthia's Roserade, you pull that, you're happy with that card.
Long term, that card is going to be gas.
It's going to be Gardevoir from Brilliant Stars. It's going to be Vaporeon, Jolteon, those types of artworks.
Yeah. But even Cynthia, that's what people want. And that sort of artwork is bang on.
I think outside of Ash, Cynthia has to be like the number one cosplayed, Pokemon character out there. We've got the Shaman.
Which is an interesting artwork for Shaman. It's a hard one with Shaman. Like sometimes Shaman looks elite, sometimes Shaman looks like this, which is ridiculous. But at the end of the day, there is a big contingent of fans for Shaman.
Yeah, Shaman's a mythical it's one of the only mythical Pokemons we've got. That and Jirachi, I believe. So again, it's got nice colors.
I think you got Jirachi, but then you've got those other ones like CXE, Eviuxi. There's other little space creature things.
Yeah, the little 3 ones. We've got Crustle, which that's a claymation card.
Which is interesting because I was just looking at it. There's so many people like collecting Yukamoris right now who did like all the original claymation stuff. So it's interesting to see that one claymation and it's not Yukimori.
Next up, we've got the Hydrapple, which for me, this card doesn't do much. But I mean, is there ever a set where every card does something for you?
But this card that Hydrapple is fighting Ethan's Typhlosion. So when you put them side by side, then it does something for you.
Hey, there you go, which we'll see that coming up after this. Rapidash looks awesome. Rapidash card, unreal artwork.
It's got to be one of the best. It's got a very Van Gogh-ish feel about it. The more you look at the artwork, like the way that it's painted and the glow around it and the shadow and the shading, like it's bang on.
It's a nice
It's
card.
a nice fire pony, bro.
It is a very, very nice fire pony. Next up, the Ethan's Typhlosion. To your point around the Hydrapple.
See, now you put the Hydrapple like down there next to it and you're like, oh, It's actually kind of cool.
And I didn't know that until you just said it. So now the Hydrapple automatically goes up again. We haven't seen a bad card yet.
No.
We haven't seen a bad card yet.
Not yet.
The biggest card in the set, maybe not the biggest, but one of the biggest cards in the set. You've got the Misty Psyduck.
This will be the biggest art rare in the set.
It's Misty, Psyduck.
Hands down.
There's so much history there in the past cards of hers. They absolutely go up in value.
But it's just the nostalgia hit right there. Like you think about when Misty first gets Psyduck and she can't handle how silly and stupid he is. And then like by the end of it, you know, like they're the best of friends. Like and I reckon that's why they did Misty's Psyduck over Misty's Gyarados, because everybody wanted Misty's Gyarados because it was in like Gym Heroes or Gym Challenge, whichever, one of the gym ones. And it looked cool and a lot of people love Gyarados, but if I was in charge of it, I would have done the same thing. I would have gone Misty Psyduck all day long. That is proper nostalgia feels.
Yeah, absolutely. It hits you right there. Just like this next card, the Misty's Lapras. I've said it before. I think Lapras is a top 10 Pokemon.
You did. You said this on Whatnot the other night, and I was like, our friendship is over. If you honestly think Lapras is a top 10 Pokemon.
Mate, you go back and you rewatch the show. Lapras is such a massive part of the show. And also playing with Lapras, Ice Beam is just so OP in Pokemon games. So
I do recall that. And it had Surf, so it got you around, which was fair enough. But it's not top 10, bro.
And you ride on the back of Lapras.
You're telling me out of 1,058 Pokemon or whatever we've got right now, that one is better than 1,048 others. It's just not true, bro. I feel like if I had a gun against your head and said, give me your real top 10 and don't muck around or I'll pull the trigger, that would not be in there.
I just remember your rebuttal to the top 10 was just all legendaries. And someone in the chat was like, this looks like an 8-year-old made this list and just got all the legendaries.
No, like an 8-year-old like battling the Elite Four or something.
Yeah.
No, what I did, and I said it in the chat, I typed into AI. I asked ChatGPT, I'm like, what's the top 10 best Pokemon? And it said, this is the top 10 based on power. And it was all legendaries. Then I did it again, and I did popularity, and it was only a couple of legendaries. Rayquaza was in both those, by the way. And Rayquaza wasn't in his top 10. What a loser.
Yeah, that was a bit spiteful from my end.
100%. I knew it was. For sure you weren't going to do it. I was like, but you should.
Yeah, but I had to make space for Diglett. You know I had to make space for Diglett in that top 10.
See, you got to take everything Kearnsy says with a grain of salt. Hobbyists.
Besides my top 10 list, that was pretty elite. Moving on, we've got Electric. Cute in the field.
Did you just call Electric electric?
Yeah, it's Electric.
It's Electric.
Anyway, the Electric is sitting in the grass and...
Funnily enough, I haven't seen this card.
Yeah, right.
I mean, like it.
It's cute. It doesn't do much for me, but...
Yeah, a bit of a set filler, but it's a nice set filler.
Yeah. Unlike this next card, the Rotom... I always love these kind of scenic cards, a bit like the Machamp from, was it Bat? No, it wasn't from, it was Astral Radiance, the Machamp going through the market. I love how there's like a bit of background noise in there. That's a cool looking card.
Yeah, it's cool.
Arvent's Greedent.
There we go. Now we found it. Now we found a bad card. This card sucks.
Yeah, this is, yeah.
Doesn't do anything for me.
It's colorful, but this one's not great. And I think the Yanmega, the next card too, is also, like you pull that, you don't get excited.
Full arts are one of those things, right? I don't think I've seen a modern full art card that I like, because I collect so many, Rayquazas. And then you look at the full arts for Rayquazas from X and Y, Sun and Moon, and even back further, like Black and White. Black and White full arts is what full arts should look like. I mean, I bought your XY Ancient Origins set, right? Well, it's like 60% full. He told me I had way more cards than it did, but it doesn't.
A few commons and reverse hollows, and they're easy to fill.
Like a lot of big hits are missing.
You have a you can't.
They are.
You said to take the rays out, so you've got
no. There's only one ray in there, and I said, yeah, I don't need that. But there's like Lugia full RDX. There's like a couple of heavy hitters in there. Megaton Rattata full RDX. There's some big ones.
You got there's a Groudon and Kyogre gold cards.
No. I was happy that those two were in there,
and they're clean too. The Kyogre is clean.
Yeah, I'm not going to grade them anyway because they'll stay in the set. But anyway, my point is those like full arts, they bang, like they slap. That's what a full art should look like. These modern full arts like this Yanmega Very lazy. Very lazy. It definitely lacks the intensity that the full arts should have. They've definitely, ever since they introduced the art res and the SIRs, these things have just fallen off. Because the full arts used to be the chases, used to be the hits. I think, it's pretty easy to suave or jazz those up a little bit, and then that just makes every set that little bit more hotter.
Yeah, 100%.
So whoever's in charge of full arts in Pokemon, shape up, brother, because these are lazy.
Yeah, well, look at your guy Rayquaza.
Yeah.
In Evolving Skies. So you've got the VMAX over the Forest, which is an amazing looking card. You've got the V where it's like the LeBron James, Dwayne Wade dunk.
So up in the sky, yeah.
Yeah, that looks awesome. And then its full art is just an orange background. It's the one card from that set. You're like, oh yeah. It's not very exciting.
No.
In comparison to those others. So
in particular, guys, if you're listening or watching, go back and look at black and white and X and Y era full art cards, and you'll go, oh, fuck. Yeah, Deanos right. Yep. They're just lazy now, man. Because, full arts are a miss in every modern set. I don't think there's been a good one in Scarlet and Violet, like one good full art. Like even I was opening Glory of Team Rocket and whatnot the other night, and we pulled the Regirock full art, and I was like, how's that the hit? Like, look at this. It's just put.
Yeah, compare that to like the Rotom, where on rarity it's rarer, but there's just nothing doing there. And then they've also got the new cards with the trainers in the back.
It's a great segue, right? Because after me just bashing them, saying how lazy and pathetic full arts look, these ones are great. I love these ones.
They're like a new era though, where they've got the trainer behind.
It is. It's different elevation of the full art. And I think I'm definitely preferring these like over some of the SIRs, like Lily's Clefairy, for example. The SIR, I actually like the full art better with Clefairy and the trainer behind it. Ethan's Ho-Oh, this one's nice, but actually Ethan's Ho-Oh SIR is probably one of the nicest cards in Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome.
The Rainbow Turkey doesn't get enough love, but when it does, it usually looks pretty good.
Yeah, he's got a huge following. And the next one, Dodonzo, actually, I think it's the blue in here, which I kind of like. I don't care for the Pokemon.
He looks a little aggressive, which is kind of nice. I mean, this kind of leans back a bit more towards how I would want them to look, but it's still missing something. You know what I mean? And shout out to JP on the back end of our podcast, a good friend of ours. He's going to have he's having a field day today, putting photos of these up every time we mention it. So he's going to love it.
Oh man, we're sorry for that. Electivire EX is the next card, and
at least we're learning today that Kearnsy doesn't know how to pronounce Pokemon names correctly.
It's Electivire.
That guy.
Yeah. How would you pronounce it?
Electivire.
It's Electivire. Anyway, I don't know. Electivire. That's boring. Green background.
Again, yeah. See, right, like the Electivire artwork actually doesn't look too bad. But the backgrounds, I think maybe it's the backgrounds on these. They're not popping.
Yeah.
I don't know what they need to do, but whoever's in charge of full art artwork at Pokemon, please take less coffee breaks, work more. Let's get it done.
In comparison to something like this Cynthia's Garchomp, awesome card. I actually pulled this in Japanese, so I've got this in Heatwave. I've already got this card from Heatwave Arena. Awesome. Love it.
Garchomp's an interesting Pokemon, isn't it? Like, I only just noticed the other day that its pre-evolution before Garchomp is Garbite. What's the first one called?
Gibble? No, not Gibble.
Gibble? Maybe it's like a nibble and then a bite and then a chomp. Is that what it is?
Maybe.
Is that what somebody came up with? I was like, because I've never really, been a Garchomp guy, but like I see a lot of Garchomp level X's and EXs because I love that era of Pokemon. I just sort of started looking into it, and then I saw Garbite. I was like, oh, Garbite, Garchomp, and I didn't bother looking up. I just got on with my life after that, and I didn't bother looking up the very original. Like the small.
I'm fairly sure it is Gibble, so
that makes sense. Nibble, bite, chomp is what they've gone with there.
That's a new binder for sure, just on those three. Okay, we now move into, we've got Arvin's Mabostiff, which
lame.
Not a huge fan of this. Bit of a
Sorry, Arvin, but you've just lost everything in this set.
And yeah, we can move on from that one because we move into some trainers now. Now, I think with trainers, unless it's super nostalgic for me, it's like characters from when we were growing up.
Well, they're relevant to say the generations that are growing up with this, the kids and stuff. So
Of course.
I totally respect it. I think they make the right trainer choices. You know, like you can't, you know, because they probably do want to reserve like you know the Misties and the Brocks and all that sort of stuff for like throwback sets, right? Because we're only months away now from the 30th anniversary. So they do want to kind of save some things for those, I would assume, perhaps.
Yeah, for sure. Me personally, pulling trainers doesn't really get me excited. So like which is ironic because this card's called MC's Excitement.
And you love being an MC.
Yeah. The judge card, judges hate it all rounds. Every time they do a judge card, no one cares. Ethan's Adventure, I mean, that's the Ash of the new Pokemon, right? So like the younger generation are probably loving that. But the art cards can be very hit and miss. Now we move into our SARs.
Now this first one, this Yan Mega, right? This is what full arts should look like.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you do that in the full art sort of texture, and you know the framing that they do. That would make more sense to me.
Yeah. It's a nice card, but in terms of disappointment, like you pull that card, you're probably going, damn, it's the spot that the Ho-Oh could have been in or the Garchomp.
Yeah.
I wish it was something else. You probably pull that card and you like give that to a friend or pass it on or sell it.
Yeah, there's always one. There's always one like illustration rare that sort of fits that.
Well, we had if you think back, we had in Silver Tempest, like we had the Reggie Rago, which like you pull that and you're like, oh, that's my Lugia spot, you know? I feel like the Yan Mega is that, but then we move into arguably one of the, I'm going to say a top 10 card of the last 15 sets.
More Ho-Ohs.
That's, I mean, this card is
the first Pokemon ever seen, ever. Ash wakes up in the morning in his jocks, late to Professor Oak's, looks up. Oh, what is that?
a Ho-Oh flying.
That
over
is
his head.
it. Where is the love for this bird? I don't understand.
Yeah. Playing gold as well. Iconic like Ho-Oh at the top of the tower. This card here, though, is just absolutely stupid. That's a PSA 10. You need that in a PSA 10 in your collection, I think. Like, that is...
Oh, well, I'm going to have to, in English, I'm going to probably, I guess I need to get one now just to put my money where my mouth is, right?
Yeah, 100% you do. Is it outdone by the next card, though? Because Cynthia's Garchomp,
it's insane. This card is insane.
Those two cards are normally like one in each set. You know, like there's like the set hit.
Yeah.
This set has two.
And this, we're not even into the rocket side yet. This is why Destined Rivals is going to blow the jocks off this hobby for years and years and years and years and years to come. I'm telling you.
There is so many hits. But this, I mean, we don't really need to say too much on this. You see this card, it is gorgeous. I said it again. Gorgeous. Gorgeous count 2 for the episode.
It slaps. This card slaps.
It's that's a 10 in the collection as well.
Trying to get lingo in. Angelica's been teaching me like young kids lingo. And she said, what'd she say the other day? Like dead ass? Dead ass instead of like serious? Like, oh, dead ass.
You dead ass?
Is it dead ass?
Maybe.
The dead ass?
You're the one that's hip and fly with all the kids these days.
I'm obviously not, brother. Obviously not.
We move on to Arvin's Mabastiff.
Jesus, what?
It's a Mabastiff.
Mabostiff? No, I think Mabostiff is what they say, but just like, you know, I'd rather the Yan Mega. I'd rather the Yan Mega than this.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, bit of a miss. So at the moment, if you include the 3 trainers, we're at 5, 6. We're at 7 cards that we don't like yet.
And they're all Arvin. Sorry, Arvs.
Sorry, big fella. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 21. So out of 25 cards, there's 7 we don't like, but there's 18 bangers so far.
This next Ethan card is iconic too.
They're so cool. I love the trainers with all the Pokemon around them.
Cyndaquil, Slugma, Pichu. Like, if this doesn't say next generation, like, you're missing the point.
This card here has got such big Professor Elm vibes. You know how he's got the Totodile, Cyndaquil, and not Torchic, Cyndaquil, Totodile, and Chikorita. Yeah, that card there.
Come on, Kearnsy.
That is.
You're a second gen guy. You should know that.
I know. I just had a massive blank.
Whereas I'm a Gen 3 guy. People learned that the other night. They're like, what? If? I was like, bro, I collect Rayquaza. Like, of course I'm Gen 3.
I've always been there. That's it. Ethan's adventure.
Torchic.
Into Blaziken?
No. I'm trying to think of the other two starters' names. I know their names though, so I don't say anything. It's Torchic. It's the little green guy. Trico. Torchic, Trico, and Mudkip.
It is Mudkip.
Yeah. Because they were the last, that's why I'm a big Gen 3 guy, because that was what I was playing, when I basically moved out of Pokemon.
Yeah, when I was restarting Sapphire and Ruby over and over again, I would always play Mudkip because the Swampert was just so OP. So I've got a Swampert on my video game.
Yeah, I was always a Torchic starter.
Yep. We move. I think that's probably my third favorite card. In behind the Garchomp and the Ho-Oh, I think Ethan's Adventurer. I like that more than the Misty Psyduck. I think that card's really nice.
Yeah.
We move on to Ethan's Ho-Oh, the gold rare. That and the Cynthia's Garchomp.
Both these golds, bang, bang, right here. These are gold cards that people are going to want.
Yep.
A lot of the gold cards are pretty mid most of the time, but these ones have trainers and big Pokemon on them. So I think long term, people are going to want these ones. The return of the gold, finally.
Gold. We love gold. And we finish the set off with Lavencia City. There's always a gold, land or location card in back end of these sets. But that's half of it. That's half of the set. And you can see how awesome these cards are. Now we move into...
Now it's starting to get down to business.
Gloria Team Rocket. So this is the side of the set that everyone was expecting more from, like you said earlier. They wanted light and dark
This
cards.
is what I'm saying, right? And I said this to you, I think, off air, and I might have said it on air already, I don't know. But I think people think or feel like this Team Rocket set misses because what it's missing, we already have, which is Heat Wave Arena. So when they come together in Destined Rivals, you're going to have good versus bad without the words light or dark, because maybe they're trying to be politically correct. I don't know. But you will get that vibe when you're opening Destined Rivals. I'm telling you, it is going to be banging. It is going to be what you actually want it to be. It will be. It will be.
Without a doubt. This first card here, the Spidops, of course, there's obviously cards through the sets, guys. There's EXs and all those things, but we're just looking at the back end of the set. We're looking at the hits. We know that's what everyone gets excited over. So,
but look at the green on that thing. Spidops ain't by no stretch some wild Pokemon that's probably got a huge following, but that is a nice looking card.
Yeah, I can tell you, I have a theory that this would be one of the biggest cards that the younger generation because of that colored green, that art style through it. It's very I was going to say very Goosebumps style, which is not the new generation.
I don't think the new gen read Goosebump, pick your own adventure books.
But the Daft Punk, Cyberpunk style on that.
I know, that is Daft Punk vibes, actually, to be fair.
Daft Punk, Cyberpunk, that card looks awesome. The Team Rocket's Houndoom.
Bang.
Unreal card. Unreal card.
Absolute win. Pulled this on stream for somebody the other night. Win.
Houndoom has had some huge cards in Scarlet and Violet so far.
If you think Team Rocket misses with cards like this, pull your head out your ass. This is hot.
Because then you run into a Blaziken.
Look at the fire kick on this chicken, bro.
Man,
this is sick.
Ash is going to lose it. How many Blazikens will Ash be buying, do you think, out
Mate,
there?
I reckon hopefully she does a PSA 1 to 10 set and just folds a couple in half and try to get those 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, the tough ones.
That needs to happen
It's such a beautiful card, man.
That's crazy. But, I mean, there's so much nostalgia through two of these first three cards as well. And then something interesting fact, I had a Clamperl level 100 on my Sapphire, which was always in my party. Don't ask me why. But this Clamperl
Look at that artwork, bro. Bruh. This is Drowsy Scarlet and Violet Base 2.0. 100%. Watch this be a $12 card on release and then bang, 5 months later, 130 bucks. Look at the colors and the art on that, dude. That is I get it, right? This is what I mean. In a Team Rocket only Japanese set, doesn't really sort of fit the bill, the vibe that you want. But in Destined Rivals in English, this thing slaps from left to right. This is a huge card.
Without a doubt. You pull that, you're happy. Just think about that. As you're going through and looking at these cards, I probably should have said at the start, like, are you happy when you pull this card? And so far, like over 90% of the cards, I'm stoked when I see that in the pack. You know, my enjoyment level for opening this set is going to be unbelievable.
It's gonna be unrivaled. Some would say.
Very nice by you. Team Rocket's Wobbuffet, iconic, man. Wobbuffet.
So this is one of the things, and I don't know if you plan on covering it at the end or not, right? But obviously you see the Wobbuffet, and for me that artwork rocks. The only thing that's missing is Jesse and James.
Yeah,
because when you see Rocket's Wobbuffet, it's Jesse and James. But obviously, again, we have Team Rocket sets with Jesse and James. We have Jesse and James in Hidden Fates. We have those cards. This is obviously tailoring to today's Team Rocket. And we should be grateful that we got Giovanni in there at least, right? But we're the ones that grew up with Jesse and James. My 16-month-old son Harry ain't going to grow up with Jesse and James, right? They don't play back, the Indigo series on Cheese TV these days. They're playing Horizons and stuff. That's what they watch. So this is what they need. This isn't for us 30-something old blokes, okay? It's for our kids.
Yeah.
So it is a misstep in a sense that I would have loved to see Jesse and James on the artwork in that Wobbuffet or a Jesse and James card. Do I think it diminishes the value in this set? No.
Yeah.
I don't.
You know what? The Ariana and Archer, this is our two protagonists here in Team Rocket. If I had watched the latest episodes, I'd probably have,
more of a connection
with them and enjoy that a little bit. So who knows, maybe when I watch that, I'll think a little bit differently. Team Rocket's Orbeetle, for me, this is the first card in the set where I go a little bit meh.
See, this is funny because I thought the same thing. And I pulled one of these on the stream the other night and we were sitting there enjoying the art. And then I drew a comparison to Super Mario, the way that game plays 2D and across platform, and sort of looking at the artwork and how that moves. And then we all kind of just started to enjoy it a little bit more. Started to hit sort of like a feel, oh yeah, like that's kind of cool. Like you got the Orbeetle and the ladder there and you got this guy. Like just the artwork itself is kind of cool. Like even when you've got the spotlight on the right-hand side and the top left there, like he's obviously trying to avoid being hit by the spotlights while he's trying to escape. The more you look at it, the better it got. But straight off the rip, like you said, and a lot of people, I guess okay, that could have been like a Rocket's Dragonite or something. But I think the card as a whole still is nice. It's not a slapper, but it's nice.
Yeah, that's fair. I pay that. Team Rocket's Weezing. See, I love this card. Obviously, Weezing, one of Joe Weezing. that's hungover Dean right there. That's when I call you when you're hungover. You answer the phone like, "Oh, what's up, kids?"
Brother, I don't even have time to drink beers anymore. Like, when was the last time I was hungover? Think about that, right? It's been a long time.
Yeah. Team Rocket's Weezing. I love this card. I love this. I think it's a great card. Iconic Pokemon. Super nostalgic. Team Rocket's Murkrow. This is a really cool card, man. And obviously we've looked through the set list. I think this is more than just Murkrow and Ariana. This is the city backline. It's a reflection on what looks like a table in front of them. It's a cool looking card.
No, it is. It's a banger. Murkrow's cool, man. Murkrow Neo Gen, sick Pokemon.
Yep.
Love it. Cool looking card.
We've got the Zamazenta. Now, it's a cool looking card, but I personally don't think it fits the set.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
At all.
Destined Rivals. This works, baby. Destined Rivals, good versus evil. This works.
Bring it
in
together.
That set, it works. In Glory of Team Rocket, makes no sense. But you chuck this card into Destined Rivals and you've got those other, light, happy, good side of the coin Pokemon. This fits in there absolutely swimmingly.
Good shout. Japanese, no sense. English, all the sense in
That's
the
the
world.
problem, is people are drawing comparisons for Destined Rivals based on 2 individual Japanese sets and not using your brains and putting the 2 of them together, as we will get, and it will feel completely different.
That's a good shout. These next 3 cards, the Team Rockets, Raticate, Team Rockets, Meowth, and the Kangaskhan.
Oh, geez. So what? Bang, 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 bang. Just
All-
put like all 3 photos up here, JP. Can you just rattle them off?
All 3 of these cards look awesome. I'm a huge fan of all 3 of them. My favorite, probably the Raticate, to be honest. I think it's one of the first times Raticate has got some serious love.
I love all 3. And if we're picking our favorite, it's the Kangaskhan for me.
Okay. That was the first card that was, leaked to the public in terms of art rares for this set.
I had so much fun as a child going into the Safari Zone trying to catch Kangaskhan.
Okay.
Right? Like, it was just one of those elusive Pokemon that didn't have an evolution. It was like, it was like catching a legendary because, like, it doesn't evolve or anything. Like, and it was hard to get, especially in the Safari Zone with rocks and Pokeballs. You couldn't actually use your Pokemon in there. So I do love a Kangaskhan card, and I feel like it hasn't had, some love in a while. And this is beautiful. I really like this artwork. And it might be the parent in me as well, like seeing the Kangaskhan and this little baby in its pouch saying g'day to Quagsire. Maybe it is. Maybe it's tapping into me in H-Man. I don't know, but
That's cute. What do you think of the art style with the Meowth? It's a bit more of like an anime style kind of. It's the first time we've seen this. I think it's one of the first times we've seen this in Pokemon, where it's pretty consistent through the set, where it's a bit more, I don't know, like simple in terms of, like simple artwork.
it's not for me.
You don't like it?
I like the art. I just don't think I like the art style.
Yeah, sure. So compared to the Weezing, which is more just like a detailed regular card, you would have preferred to have seen that over this.
Over this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It's just, I think it's a big card. I think people are going to like it, just not one for me per se.
No, that's fair. I might bucket these next 3 together as well. These are your full arts. Your Arbeliever, Team Rockets, Moltres EX, and Celtitan. There's only one card in here that looks any good.
Satitan, you absolute fish.
What did I say? Satitan?
You said Sateltian or something. It's Satitan.
Sateltian.
Yeah, again, guys, full arts suck. They just suck.
Yeah.
I don't like them. I don't like the way they're doing it when I've seen so many banging full arts from the mid-era, black and white era, XY. These ones just suck.
Yeah.
Modern, like Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, full arts suck.
We'll pay that. Okay. Our first really, really big banger of the set, I'd say, the Team Rockets Mewtwo EX.
All this card needed, I think, because Mewtwo is in the tube.
Yeah.
Right? I think it just needs the tube. Yeah. I even just had like the 2 lines of the tube down the side. Like, and it looked like it was in a silhouette tube with Giovanni still just peeking around the back, like overlooking the tube.
I feel that. I mean,
I still like it. Don't get me wrong. I still like it.
I probably disagree on that because we've had the Mewtwo before in 2 different cards.
It was huge.
And
the one from Shining Legends is sick.
I think the pose here tells you he's in the tube. I think that's strong enough that it doesn't need it. The fact that
okay, let me rephrase. I don't think it needed that.
Yeah.
But I'm curious if it could have had that.
If it would have been better, yeah.
Yeah. I'll rephrase it because I do love the way it looks. You are right.
Yeah, that's a banger card. You pull that, you're stoked. Regirock EX. We move on. Cool.
There we go.
Great. These next 3 cards are all the
Let's do them one by one though. So you're making JP really work for it here.
Team Rockets Nidoking Unreal.
Nidoking is back.
Done.
Man. I feel like Nidoking gets like no love. You look at like some of the EX era Nidokings, Delta Species Nidokings, they're banging cards, man. Like Nidoking is OG. It's always been like, Giovanni's always had the Mewtwo, but Nidoking was pretty synonymous with Team Rocket and Giovanni back in the day as well. So I'm glad that that didn't get left out.
Yeah, 100%. Nidoking, it's cooked. I think this next card too is so awesome. The green and purple in this Crobat, holy looks cool.
See, that's what I mean. These trainer full arts is what the kind of effort that they should be doing with the normal full arts. Just like in terms of colors, the artwork, they definitely hit a lot better. These are beautiful cards.
There's even like the glow on the wings as well. That's such a cool looking card. Team Rocket's Persian, probably the one out of them that I'm a little bit like, meh, it's just a bit like colorless for me.
Probably could have been a little bit better, but we've been so lucky with Giovanni's Charisma and the Persian Art Rare, or SIR. I don't know if it was an SIR or an Art Rare, of recent times anyway. So, fair enough for them to kind of go, let's work on some others because we've got some nice cards.
Yeah, for sure. All 5 of these are going together. This is just the Team Rocket trainer cards, the Ariana, Archer, Giovanni, Petrol, and Prodon. Other than the Giovanni, the rest of them don't really do much for me. But to your point earlier, the newer people that are watching these sets would probably get around them. So, that's trainer cards for you. It's either it gets you or it doesn't. And for me, it's only the Giovanni.
Yep.
But, we're talking total set here. We've already had 2 of the biggest cards, the Ho-Oh and the Garchomp. And now...
This, for me, is the card of the set. For me.
Okay.
I think the Mewtwo SAR is going to be the big one. But for me, you got Ethan's Ho-Oh on one side, and then you've got this. This is the one.
This Moltres is so cooked,
Team Rocket's Moltres, man. Have a look at that thing, bro. Have a look at that thing. I mean, the fact that I think, who is that? Looks like you got Archer in the background wearing a fire retardant suit. That's what that looks like to me, the color of that suit, right? Because Moltres is hot.
Burning.
And it actually looks sinister if you just sort of zoom in onto Moltres' eyes. You can tell that this is a bad Moltres. Doesn't need to say dark Moltres. It looks like a naughty Moltres.
The angle, I don't know, like the angle of like the city in the background and his flight as well. Everything about this card just screams awesome.
Brother, yeah. I want this in the 10 as well.
Yeah. So far out of the 3, like in 10s for them all would be amazing. Team Rocket's Mewtwo. This is a really nice card as well.
This is how it had to look, right? There's been so much scrutiny on this card. But I think this is exactly how it had to look. Like Mewtwo's most sinister sort of stance is that up above you, ready to just like psychic the F out of you, like rain down on you. That's why they've used that artwork, like that sort of style in so many different ways. I think if you present Mewtwo in any other kind of position, it just doesn't look as aggressive or as intimidating. So, they maybe could have done a little bit more, made Giovanni a little less prominent in there and Mewtwo much more prominent. I think that would maybe just silence any hater. But yeah, this card is huge and it's going to be a very big card. And all the openings that I've seen of this Japanese glory of Team Rocket, like the pull rates are hard. Like they're not easy hits, man. So, that you assume in English it's going to be the same, especially with the amount of SIRs that we've got overall. I think it must be a set with in Destined Rivals, at least for what we've seen, and whether or not they add any more in. I think it's like at least 15 or 16 SIRs.
Yeah, it's heaps.
So it makes it a little bit harder again. But in a core set, that's what you want. In a holiday set like Prismatic with 32, don't want that.
Buzz off. We're going to move into the Team Rocket's Nidoking again, which you said it earlier. Nidoking is back. This card here, it's a little bit different art style to the Mewtwo and the Moltres, but I really like it.
I think it's one of those ones, the more you look at it and the more you see it, the more you love it.
Yeah, 100%. The fact he's like mid attack as well, like the ground breaking there, Giovanni in the background's like ordering some form of attack.
Yeah.
That's a cool card. You're pulling that, you're stoked. We say there's always one in every set. And, unfortunately, like this Crobat, I would prefer pull the Crobat EX with the green background over pulling this SAR.
I know people seem to like this one though. It's like it seems to have been popular. Like people like it. I just don't know if I like it.
Like the Golbats in the background, yeah, I kind of get it. It's just probably a bit too busy for me and probably not enough. Probably doesn't just stand out enough. Like there's so much blue and purple in that card. It's going to be a very hit and miss with people. But we've got our Team Rockets Ariana and the Team Rockets Giovanni.
Cool cards.
Cool cards.
The Team Rockets Giovanni is pretty cool. That'll probably, one day be like the Jesse and James card out of Hidden Fates, I guess. Like until recent times, that card was worth biscuits. It was worth nothing.
Yeah.
You know, so I think.
Oh, it does have Petrol and Proton in the back as well. I didn't see them originally. In the back.
It's got the crew.
But then from there we move into the last 3 cards of the set. We've got the Team Rocket's Mewtwo.
That's what I mean, man. The gold cards from Destined Rivals are going to be the first gold cards actually like worth some coin. It would be surprising to me if they weren't, you know, more popular than previous golds throughout the Scarlet Violet era. Because these ones with the trainers and like Pokemon, instead of like Buddy Boffin and, you know, Earthen Vessel and like energy cards and stuff, like these are hot, man. These are cool cards, bro. Like I like you.
Yeah, no doubt. They're we wanted to go through these cards because when you sit here, and this is the first time we've done this,
I felt like it needed to be done.
It needed to be done because we spoke about what people have been saying online, what we've been seeing, the feeling in stores and stuff. Now, obviously, pull rates will be a massive part of this because if people have a prismatic experience for this set, it's going to be hated, right? Regardless of how nice the cards are. If you're opening hundreds of dollars of product and the hit rates just aren't there, but from a card set list, there is nothing that beats this. It is, how can you beat this? Don't forget the Garchomp. Don't forget the Ho-Oh. Then you've got the Moltres, the Mewtwo, the Nidoking. That's 5 hits of the set that are all absolute knockout of the ballparks.
Yep. I like it.
Crazy.
I like it a lot.
So let us know in the comments, what are your 5 favorite cards? We've gone through all the hits now. We want to hear from you guys.
And I want you to tell us why we're wrong so I can come back and tell you why we're right in a couple of years. So also do that. Come at me, bro.
I don't know, man. If anyone that sat through that whole 45 minutes of the set review, it's going to be hard to say, nah, this isn't a nice set.
There will be somebody. Trust me. There will be somebody.
I wanted a Victory Bell eating a James card in there.
Brother.
Where was my blasting off again card?
I wanted to sleep through last night. My son woke me up at 3 a.m. We don't all get what we want, all right?
I wanted extra cheese on
welcome to the real world, man.
Yeah, I wanted extra cheese on my HSP, and guess what? I didn't get extra cheese even though I paid for it.
Oh, bad review. Bad review.
I'm never going there again.
All right. Well, that is the news, and we are excited to bring back the Hobby Heroes. People have started calling in again, and if it wasn't you, it should be you. So call in the description, speak pipe, click, leave a message. That's sick. Thank you. Put you on the show. Done. Here's the Hobby Heroes. All right, Kearns, we got 3 callers today for the Heroes, which is what we like to keep it at. I'm interested to see what the first one is because the first one was the only one I didn't delete from the original. It seemed to be the only one that stuck around. So it is a month old, so it'll be interesting to sort of see what the topic is.
Hey, Dean and Son, Mumma Kearns here.
Whoops, I tell a lie. This isn't that one. But let's go back to your beautiful mum.
I've seen you boys grow up to almost 30 episodes together, and I'm sure the hobbyists would just love to know, is there any annoying habits that either of you have? Filming a podcast must be tough. Keep up the great work, guys. Bye.
I love your mum, bro.
Man.
She is the best. She is the best. And I don't have enough time to tell you how many things about Kearns.
Shout out to my mum out there. She listens to every episode.
I love her, man.
She sits there and she goes like, midway through the podcast, make sure you sit up straight. Like you're starting to slouch it.
Such a mum thing to do too. She loves your posture's gotten a bit better lately.
Yeah. And then occasionally she's like, I thought you said you couldn't get any prismatic, but you opened another 5 pack because we open a lot of packs together and stuff. So
Now, look, to be honest with you, Leanne, it was a big decision when I asked Kearns to do this with me, and it's been that way ever since I met him. But I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else because I think he brings out the best in me, and we bounce off each other really well. And there are things that we probably annoy each other on mildly, but in terms of creating this and what we do here, I can't fault Kearnsy. Like, I love you, bro. Like, you do such a good job, and you don't piss me off. He brings me breakfast, like he looks after me. So there's nothing in the podcast realm that Kearnsy does wrong or like that annoys me. That's for sure.
Oh, that's really cute, mate. You've just set me up to look like an asshole if I come after you now.
Because I know you probably have a list.
Yeah. There's nothing that really jumps to mind. I think, like to what Mama Kearns said, we're getting close to 30 episodes now. And even small things like you come from a place of, not being the most tech illiterate guy, but you're running the soundboards, you're doing the uploads, you've taken that on really well.
I'm pretty tech literate. What are you talking about?
You're getting better.
I'm better than you. My streams are flawless. Your whatnot streams are chaos.
Hey, let's not forget.
Now, here we go. The truth comes out. Let's go, Leanne. Let's rumble. All right.
We're on built up tension. No, but like in terms of picking all that kind of stuff up, like we spoke about it on the recap year episode that like there's so much that goes into these episodes. I think the most important thing we just like keep holding each other accountable. Probably the only annoying thing I would say is I don't have Microsoft Word, which is really odd. Everyone's got Microsoft Word. So I do all my show notes on my computer notes, and when I send them to you, they format like they're in Braille or something like that. So
there you go. Kearnsy brought up the biggest gripe on our podcast.
Yeah.
That it's so annoying, dude. Like, grow up. Get Microsoft Word.
I fully acknowledge that. So when we send the podcast notes to each other, we have to sit there and like
reformat. I was like, I might as well just write it myself.
Yeah, but I'm not paying for a Word subscription. I don't need to, But
everybody should have Windows, like Microsoft, like publisher and stuff. Like, you need that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. But that's probably the only thing.
Don't worry. When you finally join us at Luna, bro, we'll get you a nice laptop and that'll have it on there for you, so you can start typing it on there and then emailing it to me in the format that I want.
That's huge.
So, all right. Thanks, Mama Kearns. Who's next?
Hey, boys. Matty Stanley here. Absolutely loving the podcast. Keep up the good work. Just interested to see what you guys are looking forward to in the collectibles and cards. What's to come? Like, what's your favorite set that's out at the moment, and what's your favorite set that's coming out soon? And also what you think's doing really well at the moment, and hit rates. Thanks, fellas. Bye.
Thanks, Matty.
Matty Stanley,
the big cheese. Happy birthday to Matty for last Friday. We went out for dinner on Wednesday night, had third wave barbecue, all had the meat sweats and sat on the toilet for the day after. It was fantastic. Beautiful night out. It was good fun.
Any burger that's called the Three Piggies, is going to be a good time.
It's going to be a good time on the way in, not so much on the way
out. Thanks for calling in, Matty. Very ironic. I love how this happens, man. We speak about this all the time. The questions, it's always like people listen to the podcast, they kind of know what we're talking about in the weeks prior, and then they just give us layups.
Alley-oops.
The alley-oops, obviously, Destined Rivals we're both extremely excited for. He asked about hit rates in there in terms of...
Well, he asked about hit rates in general.
Yeah, and I think like the product, the price increase, the product has to be enjoyed and accessible. So I'd like to see hit rates probably a little bit better than what they are, especially in some of these bigger sets.
Core set hit rates, though, are pretty good, right? Like Journey Together, small set, 6 SARs, hit rates are pretty good.
Yeah.
Prismatic Evolutions has tainted their hobby in that respect. They just got it wrong. They just said, let's build the greatest holiday set of all time. And if they hadn't have put the other, 24 art rares in there, and the art rares were just the evolutions, would have been perfect.
Yeah.
They just overdone it. They overcooked it.
I think what I'd like to see is a bit more of like an open profile in terms of hits. Like if like a booster box, for example, usually you get like 13 to 14 hits. That's like the very generic. And there's like one full art card in every second box is a gold card, or in every 6 boxes is an SAR. I'd love to see a bit more randomization. Like you could get 10 hits or you could get 19 hits.
It's a tough one, right? Because we've experienced like the true random side of the hobby, and and that is very, very either amazing or really bad, right? You can be on either side of those coins. You kind of miss that midsection, and I think Pokemon's always done the midsection really well.
Yeah, I think they've just got a little bit more bandwidth there. Like imagine,
Maybe.
They talk about having like a case hit, right? Imagine,
bro, it would break Pokemon. We've talked about it before. Imagine if they ever did like a serialized card or something. Like it would break it. Like the hobby is under that part of the hobby. The Pokemon hobby is under enough strain as it is right now. They go and mess around with stuff like that. It's like playing with fire right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. The other part of his question was, what's your favorite set?
Well, I didn't even get to say what I'm excited about. You're excited about Destined Rivals. I'm excited about the Unova set that we know nothing about, except that it is coming at some point. So apparently based on trademarks and stuff, it should be the mega sets we're looking like in the next ones, the reintroduction of the mega Pokemon. And then after that, we should get this Unova set, which is just the 156 Pokemon from the Unova region, which is black and white, baby. It's back, baby. So I'm excited for that. That has me absolutely jazzed.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
I've been talking about it flat out and whatnot. I've been selling so much black and white. I'm like, buy this. Trust me, you're going to want to buy it. You want this card. So we'll see. That set's going to be fun, man. It's going to be really, really cool.
Yeah, that's going to be...
Because there's a big contingent of collectors, and I see this because they come into the shop, right? People that are in the age of, say... I'd probably say like 20 to 26, somewhere around there, like just like somewhere anywhere in their 20s. A lot of them come in and they've got all these black and white cards and they're chasing black and white because that's what they grew up with.
That's their Watsy.
They don't give a Watsy.
Yeah,
they don't care.
Watsy.
It's all about black and white. So Pokemon know this, bro. So that's why Unova's coming out like at this time, because the black and white era children have hit adult money parts of their life. So they go, here you go, lay up, dunk that.
Brilliant.
Like they know what they're doing, man. So I'm excited for that. That's going to be sick.
Brilliant. The last part of his question was, what's your number one set or you're collecting at the moment? For me, the only thing I'm really collecting at the moment is my Marvels from Flesh and Blood.
Yep.
And there's a set called Dust Till Dawn, which I've been able to get a few of my Angels recently. I'm loving chasing those down, those hits. They are just some of the nicest cards out there. So that's what I'm kind of collecting at the moment.
Me, it's just Rayquazas, baby. I buy like 5 to 10 every single day. Not every single day. Every single week. Every single week. So I think at the moment, with everything I've got away at PSA, I now own at least one copy of every artwork of Rayquaza, except the shiny Poncho Pikachu. I've got the normal one. I don't have the shiny one. Gabe keeps reminding me, and I keep reminding him. I'm like, technically it's Pikachu, not Rayquaza, but anyway. And so then the next goal is to then get because some copies, obviously many copies, probably 70% of them have English and Japanese variants. So I've got to get the variant that I don't have of the artwork. And then beyond that, it's just slowly leveling them all to PSA 10s.
Love that.
And then I would have clocked it. At some point, I will have every single Rayquaza card ever printed in a PSA 10.
And then you can sell it all and go buy the new indie TCG at the time.
If I sell... I did do that once. Mind you, my collection when I sold it to Gabe was worth about $7,000. My original Rayquaza collection that everybody thought was shit hot. And I sold it to Gabe for about $4.5. My collection now is over $50,000. I looked at it before, like the other day. All the slabs. I was like, yeah, that's an easy 50 Gs. And this time I started at the other end. I went for all the big boys first, and then I've just filled out the bottom. And obviously now being ingrained in the industry, as instead of last time I was heavy in finance and it was a pastime, like a hobby, genuine hobby, whereas now it's my career. It's a lot easier for me to obtain stuff now than it was the first time around. I was paying market prices. Now I can pick stuff up out of collections and grade them myself and all that sort of jazz. So, yeah, I'm still just working on my Rayquazas, brother.
Rayquazas. I like it.
Rayquaza. That's how my friend in Japan, Yuta, says it. He says Rayquaza.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, oh, that hits, man. People say Rayquaza or Rayquaza or Rayquaza, but it was the first time I heard somebody say Rayquaza.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I was like, ooh, Rayquaza. So I like that.
Yeah, that's got to stick.
Yeah.
That's got to stick. Thanks for calling in, Matty.
All right, and now we go to another Matt. This was the one I thought was the first one. This is from the archives, so this is going to be cool. What do you got for us?
Hey, legends. Matty here. I just wanted to get your opinion on the guys over at Metazoo listening to community feedback regarding the base set booster box artwork. The original art seemed to get a lot of hate, so even though they were only a month out from their release date, they've changed the artwork. I'd assume this is one of the advantages of printing locally in the US rather than offshore. Keep up the good work, guys. I'll hang up and listen now.
I'll hang up and listen now. So, Ian, that's a month-old call, right? Sitting in the archives, still relevant. Still relevant because Metazoo would have just dropped like 2 days ago after this episode comes out. And it's a great call out by Maddie because the original Metazoo was printed in China and it was just a shit show. This time it's printed in America, and he's right. The original artwork they had for the base set booster box, here it is, it's red. I actually didn't mind it, to be honest. I didn't mind it. People didn't like it though. So Metazoo turned on a dime and changed it to this, bing, which looks phenomenal. It is chalk and cheese, and it is a testament to printing something locally. They've obviously were able to change that really, really quickly. So you know, it's gonna be cool to talk a bit more about Metazoo when we have it in hand and the scene starts to grow here in Australia. You know, it's hard to speculate otherwise. So
it's a tough one because when I'm hearing you sitting there talk about that, we know the story around the box. The fact that the turnaround was so quick, I think like could open the door for like a little conspiracy theory that they like, because you know how
you're about to start a conspiracy theory.
You know how they say that like all noise is good news or is good noise, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe that box was never really intended to be there because.
Well, I'm going to stop you there because the pack artworks are red. And the box was red, and they didn't change the pack artworks. So you open this blue box, and then you get 4 red pack artworks.
Right.
So I'm going to discredit your conspiracy theory right there.
Okay.
Where they've literally just gone, maybe that was the artwork for set 2, and they've gone, shit.
We need to bring it forward.
Let's just chuck that into set 1 instead, and we'll do a different box for set 2.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe that's sort of where it was. Maybe they didn't just come up with it overnight when somebody's like, the community's like, I don't like it. They go, we've actually got a better one in the bank anyway. You know, because they would like, TCGs don't make art like the day before it releases, right? Like these are months and months in planning.
Yeah.
So they would already know what set 2 and set 3 are going to look like. So you've got that in there if you need it, because then you got more time to replace it further down the line.
And you reckon they just like changed out the box art with like the relevant cards from that set? Yeah. I don't know. It's just, it happened so quickly. And it was like, if that's what we can expect from this company to turn on a dime, like if need be, it's like, why haven't other people in the past? Because it was really impressive.
Well, Metazoo has to do that though, because the community was so burned by the original creators and the business runners of that. Like we were ingrained in that. We copped it firsthand. So GQL and the Meta2 team obviously know that community feedback matters and they need to nail it to ensure that, you know, it's worth their while. And they've done it. They have done it. So
yeah,
we will cover more Metazoo and bring you images and stuff as we get to open it here in Australia.
Yeah, can't wait. Can't wait.
All right, well, that's pretty much it for another banging episode of Lee and Dean telling you how it is, whether you like it or not. You like that one?
Yeah, I was going to say, if it wasn't for like a very clickbaity Pokemon title we've already got for this, that's not a bad replacement. Hobby Podcast episode 29. How Dean and Lee tell you how it is.
Tell you how it is, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. Guys, make sure by now our link is unfortunately already over.
Unless they've extended it, maybe.
Maybe.
Don't know. But we're going to see you at Collect Fest. All 3 shows, baby. Can't wait. Melbourne, Brisbane, Sydney. Woo, damn. If the box break has been announced with Gary, guys, $1,000 for a booster pack from a base set box, open live on stage with Gary King Pokemon. You get a full VIP 2-day pass to the Melbourne show for free. If you already got a ticket, great. Here's another one. Take another VIP ticket for 2 days. Give it to your mum. Give it to your brother, sister, uncle, friend, wife, kid. I don't care. Anybody. The value there is insane. Insane. So they are selling fast. I reckon we're at about maybe 45%. I know there's a lot of people that are reaching out that want to grab them. So just got to wait and see. It's hard to find. It is on the lunacards.com website under pre-orders, I think, is where you'll find it. We're going to start marketing it anyway. So get in there or you're going to miss your opportunity. That's going to be sick. Imagine pulling a Charizard on stage with Gary King Pokemon. The one and only time he'll probably be in Australia, dead set. Like, this is going to be a moment. And there will be people that didn't buy packs watching going, I should have bought a pack. So get around it. What else, Kearns? You got anything else for me, big fella?
I've got 30 minutes to drive 40 minutes for my first round of Flesh and Blood, so I got to get out of here.
All right, guys. That's the end of another cracking episode. We love you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share it around. We hit 1,000 subs. You get a chance to win a prismatic ETB, the greatest set ever. Anyway, that is Wheels Up. We are out of here. See you on the next one.